Will Smith just rocked Chris. If you were watching the Oscars the other night, you were probably just as shocked as I was to see Chris Rock making a joke. He's the MC like he's supposed to, make a little fun of people. Come on, we're not that sensitive. And Will Smith walks up there after a joke about his wife, how his wife is going to star in G.I. Jane. And Chris Rock gets slapped in the face by Will Smith. I was shocked to wake up to this and seeing what happened. It was crazy. And so I'm going to walk you through what kind of lawsuits there can be in this, both on the criminal side and civil side. So let's watch this video right now. So let's take a look. Let's see.
Hardest job tonight, Harvey and Bardem and his wife are both nominated. Now if she loses, he can't win. He is praying that Will Smith
That was a good one.
wins. Like, please, Lord. Jada, I love you. G.I. Jane 2, can't wait to see it. All right?
Hold on, if you look, Will Smith is right here smiling about it, laughing. And so he's having a good time, and his wife over there getting the stank face. She is rolling her eyes hard. So let's keep going.
That was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard. Oh, wow. Wow. Will Smith just smacked the shit out of me.
Chris Rock played it off pretty well and just kept it going on that. If I was him, I'd be in total disbelief up there. But so there are a few different lawsuits that could happen out of this. Now, it's already come out that Chris Rock won't make a statement, but let's just play what if and see what could happen. So there's both civil and criminal lawsuits that could happen. So let's break down the civil lawsuit first. So Will Smith would likely be charged criminally if prosecutors were to move forward with the case with assault and battery on Chris Rock. Now, there's different elements to assault and battery in different crimes, but in Oklahoma, this requires willful, unlawful, use of force upon another person. So those are the four elements that a prosecutor would have to make to meet the requirements to charge and to convict Will Smith of assault and battery. And in this instance, they meet all four of these requirements. Obviously, Will Smith went up there willfully and slapped Chris Rock right in front of everyone. And this is not good evidence for Will Smith because it is on national television. And obviously we just played it, and there's many more places that it'll be. Second, unlawful, as in Chris Rock didn't consent to it, but we'll get to that in a minute. Third, use of force. So obviously Will Smith slapped and touched Chris Rock on the face, and that was a use of force. Fourth, upon another person. Obviously, that was upon another person on Chris Rock. And so prosecutors could charge Will Smith with assault and battery on Chris Rock. It's that simple, but there are also some defenses that Will Smith can play in there as well. One of the defenses that Will Smith could assert is consent. Did Chris Rock consent to this? Now, there's been some things saying like they set this up and it was all part of it. I don't think that, but who knows? So that could be a defense that Will Smith uses in a criminal lawsuit, was saying Chris Rock actually consented to this slap to make it look dramatic or whatever. I don't know if that's likely. I wouldn't say so, but it's a possibility. Another one is self-defense, when you honestly and reasonably believe that you must use force to protect yourself. In this instance, Chris Rock didn't pose any threat to Will Smith. And another thing is words do not justify force. So just because Chris Rock said something about his wife does not justify Will Smith to go up there and slap him across the face. So there are not good affirmative defenses for Will Smith. So if the prosecutors were to go forward with a case, then it would likely be unsuccessful. Now, what's the punishment for assault and battery? In Oklahoma, it's 0 to 90 days in jail or a $1,000 fine or both. So if this happened in Oklahoma, then Will Smith could be convicted and be sent to jail for 90 days and pay $1,000. Now we'll talk about the civil suits that Chris Rock can bring. The first one is against Will Smith, and this would be similar to the criminal case. It will be assault and battery, and the elements that that Chris Rock will have to meet are similar to those in the criminal case, because assault and battery is pretty much the same. And so would we be able to meet those elements again? Yes. Now the thing that gets a little interesting is how they define contact. So did Will Smith actually make contact with Chris Rock? And so in Oklahoma, it says that contact is defined as a contact is the intentional touching of the person of another or anything that is connected with or in contact with the other's person. So even if Will Smith hit his clothes, that would still be a contact. A contact is also the intentional touching of the person with touches the person of anything or anything that is connected with or in contact with another's person. So that means if I take a baseball and throw it at you, that is still an assault and battery because I put that baseball in motion to hit you. And so contact is obviously here because Will Smith's hands seems to hit Chris Rock right across the face, making it contact. So just like on the criminal case, Chris Rock would have to show that Will Smith intentionally hit him. It's defined a little differently. As I mentioned on the criminal side, it was willful, which is similar to intent. And in the civil jury instructions that are uniform for Oklahoma, it says a person intends to commit a battery if he or she acts for the purpose of making a harmful or offensive contact with another. So again, did Will Smith act for the purpose of making a contact with Chris Rock? I would say yes. So if Chris Rock was to sue Will Smith in a civil lawsuit, he would likely win. Now, whether he actually does it or not, I don't think he will, but it's one avenue that he could recover damages from that. So let's talk about some damages. Some of those damages might be your medical expenses. I don't know if he had any injuries from this. He might have gotten a red mark on his face or something, but I don't know if he actually got any medical injuries for that and needs medical expenses. So I don't know if there'll be many damages for that. He might have lost wages. I don't know if he's going to have any lost wages from his injuries, but he'll also have pain and suffering. Now, on this part of it, he could definitely argue that he has quite a bit of emotional pain and suffering because it was on national television. It's definitely different than any other assault and battery that you usually see. And so he could argue that and could possibly get quite a bit of damages in that case. Now, like I said, whether he actually will or not, I have no idea. Another type of damages that Chris Rock could pursue against Will Smith is punitive damages. And this is to punish the defendant for his wrongdoing. And to recover punitive damages, one has to show that it was malicious and willful. Obviously, that would likely fall under that umbrella, and so he could likely pursue punitive damages against Will Smith as well. So if Chris Rock were to pursue a civil lawsuit against Will Smith for assault and battery, he would likely win. Now on the damages, that's totally up in there and up for the jury. Now Chris Rock could also sue another entity in this situation. That entity might be the Oscars. It might be wherever the Oscars were held. It might be whoever was employed for security at the Oscars, or all of them. It totally depends on the facts of the case. But there's such thing as negligent security. And for negligence, you have to prove 4 things: that the individual owed or entity owed a duty to the other individual, they breached that duty, that individual had damages, and that breach of that duty caused those damages. So if he's able to meet all 4 of those elements, then he could possibly recover against those other entities as well for negligent security. So those are 2 different types of lawsuits, both civil and criminal, that Chris Rock could potentially pursue against Will Smith and those other entities as well. So leave some comments below and let me know what you think will happen, because this is really interesting. So let's see what happens in the future.